Um, the, um, there is a difference, I think, within Pakistan in the role in the girls' schools, in the making of girls' schools. Greg Mortensen and his group have made girls' schools. There are lots of girls' schools, but what's happening in the northwest part of the country, for at least 6 or 7 years now, is that the Taliban are attacking those schools first and foremost. You know, they post what they call these night letters on the door of the school. They'll stick it with a knife or with a nail or something. But the letter, in essence, says, if anybody comes to this school, if a teacher comes to this school, or if any students come to this girls' school, they will be killed. And so stay away, basically. And so the girls, you know, in these villages that go to these schools, you know, the parents have to make a decision whether they're willing to let their child walk into that kind of danger on a daily basis. And the Taliban also kills teachers, kills teachers who teach girls. They don't believe in girls being educated, and so they have made a real effort to terrorize these girls' schools in the northwest part of Pakistan. The eastern part of Pakistan, the situation is a little different. You still find, I mean, I'm talking about this divide. It's not like there's not creeping, you know, that there's not militancy and this kind of Talibanization on the east side of the Indus River either, because they're making inroads everywhere. But in general, girls have a much easier time going to school and not being terrorized on the eastern side. And even there you see some of these Barelvi, the more moderate forms of Islam, they create madrasas, private religious schools for girls, where girls can get an education in a religious environment that's not that kind of restrictive. It's more of an open thing. And I visited a number of those girls' schools that are actually run with by mosques, which are great.
To take the role of women in their society?
Well, traditionally, you know, I mean, the educated Pakistani, the moderate educated Pakistani, traditionally, going back to the earlier days of back to the 1970s and 80s, you know, women have risen to positions of power and influence within Pakistan. Not to the degree that they have in India, but there is a tradition of strong, smart, tough women politicians who rise to positions like Benazir Bhutto did. You know, I mean, she was an example of that, who came from a family, a political family, a kind of a, you know, political aristocracy, and she became the leader of Pakistan. So that tells you something. There's a very active core of women lawyers, like my friend Asma, who runs the human rights thing. She's a lawyer. She argues before the Supreme Court of Pakistan all the time. And there are a lot of lawyers who are women, educated women who've gone maybe outside Pakistan to be educated, but then come back and they're building their country. So there is that tradition within Pakistan of their including half their brain power in the role in making society a better place. Although that, right now, you know, over the last 10 years especially, is more under threat than it's ever been. And so a high-profile woman like Asma Jahangir, who is on TV talking about human rights and about how bad the government is and about, you know, these poor people in villages who are being suppressed by a corrupt legal system, she puts herself up there, and she's got a big bullseye on her back for all these religious crazies who want to do in people like that. And so she's really taking a risk to take that kind of a stand.